Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. One punch and suddenly everything changes. So here's what went down. What looked like just another tense meeting at Forrester Creations turned into something way bigger. Something personal. RJ Forrester, the calm, creative guy we all thought we knew, completely lost control and punched Will Spencer. And trust me, this wasn't just about one argument. This had been building for weeks. Let me walk you through this because it didn't just come out of nowhere. That punch, it wasn't just anger in the moment. It was weeks of pressure, frustration, and feeling pushed aside finally exploding. Inside Forrester Creations, things had already been tense. Not the kind of tension you see right away, but the kind that slowly builds under the surface until it's impossible to ignore. It all started with small disagreements, creative direction, decisions, loyalty, but those little things, they grew into something much deeper. And right in the middle of it all was RJ. Usually, he's the calm one, the artistic soul of the family. But this time, he was being pushed in ways he'd never expected. And then there's Will Spencer. He came back with confidence. No, not just confidence. That classic Spencer intensity, bold, sharp, unapologetic, and honestly a little aggressive. The problem, he started getting involved in Forrester creations, and for RJ, that wasn't just business. That was legacy. That was Eric Forrester's life's work. That was family. So, seeing Will step in, question decisions, and challenge authority, it felt like someone was invading something sacred. At first, RJ tried to stay out of it. He kept his head down, focused on his designs, his sketches, his creativity. But Will, he wasn't the type to stay quiet. He made sure everything felt his presence, especially around the Logan and the younger crowd. And his comments, at first they sounded harmless, almost polite, but underneath they had a sting. He started questioning whether RJ really had the experience to be taken seriously. He hinted that just having the Forrester name shouldn't automatically earn respect, and those words, they stuck with RJ deeply. Meanwhile, people around them started noticing that tension building. Brooke tried to play peacemaker, sensing that something bigger was coming. Katie kept a close eye on Will, knowing how far he can push people. Even Rich, who's seen more family drama than anyone, started to worry things were heading somewhere dangerous. Then came the big moment, a major meeting at Forrester Creations. This was huge for RJ, his chance to prove himself, to step out of the shadow and show what he's capable of. Everything was on the line. He started presenting his vision, and that's when Will interrupted. At first, it sounded like just a question, but then it turned into criticism. Real criticism. He called RJ's designs safe, predictable, said the company needed something bold, something disruptive, and then he crossed the line. He implied RJ only got this opportunity because of his family name. And just like that, the entire room went silent. RJ tried to stay calm. He defended his work, explained the meaning behind his designs. But Will kept pushing and pushing and pushing. At that point, it wasn't about fashion anymore. It was about respect, identity, belonging. You could literally see the change in RJ, that calm exterior. It cracked. The argument escalated. Voices got louder. Reach tried to step in. Brooke told them to calm down, but it was already too late. Then Will said it. The one thing that broke everything, he told RJ he didn't understand real world pressure, that he'd been living a protected life under the Forrester name. And that's it. RJ snapped. No warning, no hesitation, no lunged for a word, and the punch landed hard. Everyone in the room gasped. Will staggered back, completely caught off guard. For a second, it felt like time froze. Nobody expected that from RJ. Nobody. RJ just stood there, breathing heavily, realizing what he had just done. Will wiped his mouth, looked back at RJ, angry, Yes, but there was something else there too, almost like respect. Like he finally saw a different side of RJ. And then chaos broke out. Reed jumped in between them. Brooke rushed to RJ. Katie checked on Will, also calling him out for pushing things too far. But the damage already done. Word spread fast, and in company built on image and legacy. Something like this isn't just personal, it's public damage. Eric was deeply disappointed. He believed in RJ, but this was a loss of control. Later that night, RJ sat alone, replaying everything in his head. The anger, the punch, the shock on everyone's faces. He knew he crossed the line. But at the same time, part of him felt justified. He had been pushed, disrespected, undermined for weeks. Will, on the other hand, had his own thoughts. Yeah, he got punched, but he knew he provoked it. In fact, he kind of wanted to see if RJ had that fire in him, and now he had his answer. But that didn't mean he was going to let it go, not even close. The fallout was massive. People took sides. Some said RJ was pushed too far. Others said he should have handled criticism like a professional. And just like that, the tension between the Forrester and Spencer families got even worse. And honestly, that punch was just the beginning. Because underneath it all, this isn't just about anger. It's about legacy, power, identity, and who really belongs at the top of Forrester Creations. Ajay tried to move on, focus on work, but he couldn't. His creativity felt forced, empty. Will's words kept echoing in his head. You have had everything handed to you. And the worst part, he started wondering if there was some truth to it. Meanwhile, Will didn't act like a victim at all. At Spencer Publications, he reported the incident calmly. No exaggeration, but there was curiosity in his tone, like he was seeing RJ in a completely new light. Then there's Bill Spencer, and let me tell you, he did not take this lightly. When he heard what happened, his reaction was instant. No one touches a Spencer without consequences. That's the rule. And in his mind, this wasn't just about a punch. It was about power and respect. Katie tried to calm him down, reminding him that Will wasn't innocent either. But Bill, he wasn't ready to hear that. Back at Forrester, Rich called RJ in. No yelling, just disappointment. And honestly, that hit harder. He reminded RJ that being a Forrester isn't just about privilege. It's responsibility. Every action reflects on the family. RJ admitted he did was wrong. But he didn't completely back down. He made it clear. Will crossed the line first. Those weren't just critics. They were personal attacks. And for a moment, Rich understood because he's been there, that pressure, that need to prove yourself, that feeling of being questioned in your own space. But still, actions have consequences. RJ was asked to step back from the upcoming fashion line, not as punishment, but to let things cool down. But to RJ, it felt like everything he worked for was slipping away. All because of one moment he couldn't control. This changes everything, not just for RJ and Will, but for both families and the future of Forrester Creations. Trust is broken, reputations are shaken, and now there is a clear divide forming. RJ's credibility is on the line, while Will has just ignited something much bigger than a simple rivalry. And let's be real, this kind of tension doesn't just disappear, it grows. Honestly, I think both of them are wrong, but also both of them are right in their own way. Will pushed way too far, he knew exactly what he was doing. But RJ, you can't throw a punch just because someone hits your ego. That said, I get it. When someone keeps poking at your identity, your worth, your place, it builds up, and sometimes people snap. That doesn't make it right, but it makes it human. So now the big question is, was this just a one-time explosion, or are we watching the beginning of something much bigger and more dangerous? What do you think? Was RJ justified, or did he completely cross the line? And whose side are you on, RJ or Will? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives like this.